Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Maria Lee. I'm back, as you can see. Secondly, I just want to say I'm super excited. I've reached 755 subscribers, and you know what? I just want to say thank you. I didn't even think I was gonna at least make it this far with that many people subscribing to my channel, and I hope everyone stays in. Let's just enjoy this ride while we're on this together. I know you guys clicked on this title. A what? I know you guys clicked on this video saying, here we go, hate on Arrow. But it was a good show overall. I was actually sad that it ended, but whatever. Let's see what this person had to say about the downfall of Arrow. Alright, sit back, enjoy.
It's hard to believe that Arrow was, at one point, my favorite show on TV. When it first started, it was dark, the action was very impressive,
oh my God.
It was unlike anything I'd seen before. Yeah, maybe the writing wasn't always the best, and the acting could be a little weak at times.
Oh, what did he say? Because I wanted to touch on that.
Very impressive, and it was unlike...
Oh, the action facts. The first season of Arrow, masterpiece. That shit was crazy. It was action after action. First episode felt like I was on episode 5 because of how much they put in it, in a good way though. Like it's not bad, but that was like, if you really want a show to like get you off the first episode, I recommend Arrow. But other than that, I mean, I wouldn't say stick it out and watch it through the end because I liked it.
And it only got better with time. You know, until Daredevil came along and did everything that Arrow was doing, but way better. Arrow's greatest strength was how it portrayed elements of the Green Arrow comics in a grounded, realistic world, clearly very inspired by Christopher. So, what happened? I'm still not quite sure how it managed to go so wrong so fast,
right?
But it did. Even from the season 3 premiere, Arrow just felt like a lesser version of itself. But to understand what Arrow became, we have to start with what it was. So let's look at season 1. Season 1 began with a very simple premise. Oliver Queen was stranded on an island for 5 years, and he returned to his home armed with a bow and the intention to take out everyone on a list that his father left him. An interesting and unique element of the show was the flashbacks, which showed Oliver's skill with a bow being developed and showed how he became such a ruthless, effective killer. Over the course of the season, Oliver found allies to help him, like John Diggle and Felicity Smoke, and the different personalities of these characters is what made their interplay so enjoyable. What I liked so much about Oliver as a protagonist was that he didn't pull any punches. He went after people with the intent to kill. And that was something that you didn't really see with superheroes. Even if
he's not a superhero. He's a vigilante. Like Batman. Batman ain't got no powers. It's a vigilante. If you're mad about that statement, stay mad.
he did only end up murdering a bunch of security guards and left their bosses alive. And the main adversary that he eventually faced, Malcolm Merlyn, or the Dark Archer, was a legitimately threatening presence. But they slowly introduced elements of a mystery, connecting subplots and unanswered questions in some really cool ways. This season also introduced us to Slade Wilson.
I love Slade
too. Turned out to be one of the most fun, charismatic, and just plain awesome characters in the entire show. A number of other DC Comics characters like Deadshot, The Huntress, Vertigo, Roy Harper, and many more were also introduced.
I love Roy.
And these versions of those characters fit very well into the world that Arrow created. If there's any downsides to Season 1 I can think of, it would probably be with some side characters. Thea felt very superfluous at times, and Laurel could be very...
Bro, what the fuck are these words? Like, what?
Annoying. She was my least favorite character at the end of...
Say that again?
And Laurel could be very annoying.
Annoying.
She was my least favorite character at the end of Season 1.
Hold on, time out. We're not just about to sit here and call Laurel annoying and Thea without calling Felicity and Laurel's dad, I forgot his name. My beef with Felicity is that after she, you know, like, first she came in as, like, this nerdy, like, shy, humble, like, oh my god, hot guy, you know? character, which I love, like her quirkiness, like her weird combo of clothes. I didn't like. I liked her. That made her Felicity in the show. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've ever read one Green Arrow comic or really know much about him. I just knew who he was. As like the seasons continued and she was there, I think they kind of like Hollywood it up for her. She started dressing more like, you know what I mean? When that wasn't who she was at the beginning, you know? But she became a complete asshole out of nowhere, too. Because I'm just like, she doesn't have to be a dickhead about it. Like, she was straight up disrespecting Oliver for no reason. And he was just sitting there taking it because he liked her type shit. And I'm just like, this is so corny, bro. Her, like, entitledness, like, throughout the seasons blew minds. Because I'm like, he won't say anything to her. You know, like, at first, when they first met, he was, like, barking. And I'm like, yo, Oliver, relax, bro. Like, he just completely, like, you're right. I'm wrong. You know, like, that was annoying. And her complex was too crazy for me. I was like, relax. And Diggle. Besides Laurel, I just hated Laurel the whole way. Her dad, I don't know if I was forgetting somebody. Her dad, the amount of times he switched up on Oliver was crazy. It was too crazy for me. I was just like, all right, which one is it today? Are you trying to hunt him down and like send him to prison, or are you on his side? Like, come on.
All in all,
Facts.
season 1 of Arrow was a little uneven at times.
What?
You know, some episodes were better than other episodes, but it was all
heavy.
very entertaining. Which brings us to season 2, which I believe matches season 1 in terms of quality and surpasses it in many ways. The most notable improvement was in the main villain, because Slade Wilson finally emerges as Deathstroke.
Slade was
what
crazy.
makes him so effective as a villain isn't just his fighting skills or his Mirakuru enhanced strength, but the personal connection that he has to Oliver. What really made this new dynamic between Oliver and Slade work was that the reason why they hated each other made complete sense, and Slade's motivations were very well fleshed out. There was also some strong development for Oliver, as his friend Tommy's death inspired him to no longer kill people.
Tommy, I hated Tommy.
To his comic book counterpart, even trying to adopt a new nickname besides the Vigilante or the Hood. The action in this season was pretty fantastic, a real step up, and the introduction of the strength-enhancing drug Mirakuru led to more stunt work, all of which looked great. The character.
Oh, speaking of, I despise Laurel's Black Canary. I wasn't fucking with it, I'm gonna be honest. It was, seeing her fight was not it. She needed to be trained a little bit more before she was able to step out. I was not fucking with it. It was like, I cringed whenever I saw her. Like, I would have rather seen Thea more in fighting scenes than seeing Laurel. Oh,
Roy Harper became a much more prevalent character and also went through his own arc, being infected with Mirakuru and dealing with the mind-altering effects, coming out on the other side of the experience stronger, more focused, and ready and able to be a part of Oliver's team in the field. Diggle and Felicity also provided a lot of support, and the relationships between characters grew stronger, which led to the team feeling more tightly knit. Season 2 just built off of Season 1 in the best of ways, which is ideally how a TV series should work. But the characters grew and evolved with the story. They faced consequences of Season 1, and where they were at the end of Season 2 made total sense. Even more comic book elements were introduced, most notably the Suicide Squad, which was comprised of villains that we'd already seen on the show, which I feel was a very smart way to do it. Season 2 expanded Arrow's universe in ways that I really didn't expect. First, with the introduction.
They should have done a show with this, like the Suicide Squad they had in Arrow. They should have done a show.
Of the League of Assassins through the return of Sarah Lance and a brilliant connection to Malcolm Merlyn, and the introduction of Barry Allen, which led to the first spin-off show in what quickly became the most expansive universe on TV. Season 1 ended on a defeat, and Season 2 ended on on a victory, with
Yeah.
Oliver rising above what he had been to truly save his city. I was beyond excited for Season 3, especially because the League of Assassins was set to be a major part of the plot, and Ra's al
Love them.
Ghul would finally be appearing. I saw no way that Arrow Season 3 could go wrong. But then it all went wrong. Like I said before, I don't really know exactly when the show became bad, but from the Season 3 premiere, the quality of the show just seemed so much lesser than it had been before. I think the big mistake right off the bat was killing Sarah, because they essentially just turned her character, who was a really awesome character, into a plot device. I know they wanted a shocking moment to start the season off, like, ooh, we killed a major character, we're so edgy. Wow, just like Game of Thrones, the shows are on the same level in every way. They set up a mystery with Sarah's death. There are multiple leads that the team tracks down, but they can't find the answer, and it turns out that Thea was brainwashed by Malcolm Merlyn, and she killed Sarah.
Right.
Okay, sure.
What I've done.
Whoa, hold on. Nah, because that was crazy. Like, when I first saw it, I was like, what? Thea? I don't know what I was expecting, but Thea definitely didn't cross my mind. I don't think. But, you know, I like that. That was a good twist.
Is giving you incentive. To do what? To tell Roz that you killed Sarah Lance. By right, you will be given a trial by combat. With Roz. His death will erase any blood debt from his reign, including Thea's and yours.
Just to reiterate, Malcolm's plan is to pit a guy who could barely defeat him up against the greatest fighter in the DC universe.
Right.
Ra's al Ghul wants to kill Thea because she's technically the one who killed Sarah, and Oliver decides that he'll fight Ra's al Ghul to the death to save his sister. Well, this can only end well, right?
Nah, this fight was crazy.
Well, you probably should have seen that coming.
Right.
Idiot. So now Oliver's dead, but it doesn't really matter because he just gets brought back to life by the character Katana. Did she use the Lazarus pit? No, she just... Actually, they never explain how he was brought back to life.
No, they did. He didn't technically die. It was so cold that his body, like, he didn't bleed out because of how cold it was in that place that they fought.
They just say,
I asked her to come here.
I like him
To
too.
bring you back to life.
okay.
Oh,
so
what?
while our protagonist wanders around in the snow for a few episodes, the focus turns to Laurel, everyone's favorite character. At this point, I was starting to lose hope in this season, but one episode got me really excited, and it was Oliver and Thea going back to the island to train, but Slade Wilson is loose there. Mostly, I was just excited to see Manu Bennett back, but they made his character so incompetent all of a sudden, they just ruined him. The main villain of Season 2, everyone. Beaten by Thea. Roz asks Oliver to take his place as the head of the League. When this plot was revealed, I was very excited because it was a direction that I never expected the show to go in. This proved to be the shot in the arm that Arrow needed to get back on track. Well, I wrote a little song about it. No, I think the main problem is that Oliver doesn't just immediately take Roz up on his offer, even though it makes so much sense to do so. With the League at his disposal, Oliver could clean up Starling City in a week. And
He literally could have taken up the mantle, you know, willingly changed and helped his own city that he, like, loves dearly. And it's the reason why he even began doing what he did, because, you know, he wanted to clean the streets of fucking Starling City, whatever it's called. It pissed me off because I'm like, you have the whole, like, if you take this and actually use it well, you have all these assassins at your dispensary, and you didn't use it, like, and the thing is that I'm pretty sure he could have kept being him just with the Ra's al Ghul title. and went out and did. Like, he could have changed the whole way the League of Assassins was viewed and how they do things. Literally, you're supposed to be the smartest person here, and you just did the dumbest thing in the world.
He could live for such a long time that he could see endless good work done across the world. But instead, he mopes around for a few episodes because he doesn't know if he can. And by faking his death, they write Roy off the show in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
And also because the actor who plays Roy, Colton Haynes, had been dealing with a lot of anxiety issues and wanted to be written off so he could deal with them. So all in all, that plot worked out well for the actor and the character and the story. Ra's al Ghul takes away all reason for Oliver Queen to remain as Oliver Queen, and then he forces Oliver to join the League by stabbing Thea. So Oliver is forced to put her in the Lazarus Pit to save her life, and by doing so, Oliver Queen finally joins the League of Assassins. With 3 episodes left in the season. Good thing this plot, which easily could have taken up like half the season, is now going to have barely any development. Great, wonderful. Really glad we got a whole episode about Felicity in college instead. That was much more necessary.
I can't let you out of prison, Coop.
You can't tell them you wrote that virus. Because I already told
This
them.
episode was literally a filler that blew mine. I'm like, this is an anime. We don't need this.
I wiped out those loans.
I don't care.
Both of us should be in prison.
I don't care. That's the thing. I didn't care about this.
I love you too.
Okay, let's talk about it. I felt like this could have been a great, well-written show, but it just flopped. Like, there was just so much like things that went wrong in the writing process that I'm just like, come on now. Felicity, that annoying, the hero's love interest, that's just fucking annoying. I have this thing where I just don't like heroes or vigilantes' significant other because they never understand, and they always saying, but me, but me, but me, but me, but me. She fell into that category. Even though she was part of, you know, Arrow's team and all that stuff, and she did what she did, you know, whatever. I just feel like she wasn't understanding. She was more blaming. If you guys want to have a discussion, you guys know where to take it, down in the comment section below. This full video will be down in the description box below, so you guys can check out this original video and make sure you give it a thumbs up, and make sure you give mine a thumbs up as well. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I say, I'll see you guys in the next video.